Problem then Nigeria nyafu nyafu, not a small thing, my brothers and sisters. Where they watch me now, just follow me as we discuss some pertinent issues here. Honestly, they give me headache, not be small. And I needed some Panadol, but that cannot cure the kind of headache I have because of what is happening in this country. No paracetamol or Panadol can cure this continuous assault on humanity, abuse, flagrant abuse, and insensitivity that is ravaging the entire country. Even those you think could know better are more worse, fooling themselves. The governors, the president. As one of the musicians said, if you are president, president well, governor well. Nobody is doing that. They only resort to blame game, trying to blame one another, trying to blame the masses, trying to blame the students. You organize for palliative distribution among an institution, which you should know the number of intake, the number of students, their department, their faculty, in different faculties, departments, and disciplines. You should know the number of people and know how to package your things and distribute them without any noise. But you, of course, you need to be noticed now. You need to gather crowd. Nigeria need to gather crowd to make, to be pompous, to feel that they have arrived. So that when they see the pompous, they say, ah, this man is doing, what are you giving to them? What are you doing that will result to the death, careless death, avoidable death, irresponsibility on the part of those organizing it, including the government who should know better? It's very simple. How many of the is the number of students in that and the staffs of that institution that you are not aware, you can't manage, you can't plan very well? That's when everything in Nigeria is collapsing, it's in shambles. Nobody cares, everybody does what he likes, and with nobody, no sensibility, not proactiveness, no innovative mindset. You just want to gather crowd and you think that you can't, you would expect people tonguing on each other because you cannot manage it. You don't even need security to manage such distributions. Get the faculties involved, organize it faculty by faculty. You will reduce the number of crowds, stampedes. Why should people rush for what they know that will get to them at the end? Because of the poor planning, poor management, poor everything, poor responsibility, poor government, poor federal government, poor president, poor everything is unfortunate in Nigeria. Everything, even the air is unfortunate. I was gasping for air because of the environment I found myself. Stinking and everything is unfortunate. The rain is unfortunate. Once there is small downpour, everywhere will be flooded because there is no longer drainages. The canals, the waterways have been filled up. No maintenance, no consistent maintenance by those who should know the implications and the consequences and the hazardous nature of such environments. I have to pull my shoe and put my leg inside water, even when I was not prepared for that. From there, you can contract some diseases, and of course, that will result to another thing. Getting to the hospital, you know how that means. You have to pay through your nose, and drugs are not affordable. Not affordable as it stands now. Nigerians are in the state of perplexity, quagmire, honestly. Whatever is happening now is quite unfortunate. I mean, even the air, the water you drink in Nigeria is unfortunate. What am I saying in essence? How can a government, you said you are organizing palliative for students, you have not taken the number, ascertain the number of students in different faculties? How do you think you can just call in a single file and expect people not to rush? How can't you imagine the possibility of people stampeding, thronging When you are sharing because of your poor management and inability to see beyond your nose, and you're coming and making excuses. They say not everybody has a national ID card. Not everybody has international. Most everybody has national or international passport. What happens to their reg number, their matriculation number, their admission number for each student in every discipline, department, faculty, or whatever, what have you? You get it. Documentations. Go to even different faculties, departments, and distribute those things with remarkable ease. That would have avoided this unnecessary casualty. How could students, because they are hungry and haggard, their own country has brought unimaginable pain and poverty upon them, forcing it on their families and children? What for? It does not worth dying for. A 5 kilogram of rice or 2 dedica of rice. So somebody should lose their children because of your sharing rice, and you are making senseless and irresponsible excuses to cover up for your lapses and inability to manage human resources. What is the population of the students in that institution that you can't manage? Then if you can't manage it, you can now claim you can manage a local government and a state. It's quite unfortunate. It does not show any sense of sensibility, responsibility on the part of the government. And this keep on repeating. We don't learn any lesson. Quite unfortunate that these students lost their life. It doesn't worth it. If I were there, I can't do such destructive thing. What is it for? How long can that sustain you? Now it has taken life. Quite unfortunate, but that would have been avoided if the government and those in charge, saddled with the responsibility, have understanding. They think with their brain. But today, everybody is making an excuse, making up to defend the lapses, the stupidity that led to the deaths and stampede of these innocent students. Just as if that was not enough, keep repeating, you see policemen jumping in the front of a moving vehicle. Now, is it part of the training the police receive? No, I wanted to ask because I have not gone to police training also. Please, jumping in the front of a moving vehicle, with due respect, the IG of police and other commissioners or AIG, you can help me answer this, please. Is that part of the instructions that the police receive? This is unfounded. In fact, moving on the Nigerian rules, someone can even lose his or her sanity. It's a moving vehicle. You are jumping in the front of a moving vehicle to stop because you want to collect 1 naira, 200 naira. You don't care about the safety of the passengers, which are Nigerian citizens, the people you are meant to protect. A policeman will be asking for license, will be asking for particulars of a car. Is that part of their responsibility? Under law, is that part of their instructions, the code they receive? Only the name of extorting. And some people get accident. If you see the way people were just shouting, "Hey, God, God," I felt mad at that policeman. Please, the police commissioner and the IG should return if become necessary, because most of these police, when you look at them, you can ascertain the state of their psyche, because the way they behave is not far from the way animals, the way some, with due respect, the way some people who have lost their sanity, their sense of responsibility, to the people and the government. You are meant to protect life and not to engineer whatever will lead to the loss of life. You saw a driver and you are beating the driver, hitting it with your baton until the driver begins lost his grip on the destiny, on the steering. You don't know what that could lead. It could lead to fatal accidents, losing not only the life of the driver, including the passengers on board. Hey, Nana, who do Nigeria this country? Abeg, help me, oh, help me. I be like say na only me dey see all these things. I mean, if you have experienced such, let's hear from the comment section. Honestly, it is mad. Whatever is happening is quite mad. It makes me, if I, if actually I have any hope in Nigeria, I don't think. Would you all virtually everything? We go to the hospital. Everybody is exploitative, taking undue advantage of the others. Is it the last man? That one I no go area. They are building more hatred within the public domain against themselves. Go and ask the public, an average Nigerian, what he thinks about a policeman. I'm not here to insult any person. Just go make your sample. Investigation, random sampling. Ask them, what do you think about an average policeman? Then you know the depth of rottenness and the public perception about such public institutions or government institutions. That is where orientation comes in. But do we have orientation in Nigeria? Zero. They are dead as dodo. Basic safety tips that the government should have consciously educate and inculcate in the life of every Nigerians are not there. They are not there, but budgets are being made on weekly, monthly, yearly basis for those minister, human orientation agency or whatever, orientation, whatever they call them. Are they in existence? How can the government allow her supposed citizens or anyone resident within the country to enter or board a boat without life jackets, safety tips? And nobody knows if actually there is an accident, of which accidents would happen sometimes. But how are the pupils, how are the citizens equipped to address such issues? They only know how to use their phones. So we make content, post it on Facebook to get more followers. Taking undue advantage of somebody whose life is in danger. Instead of resuscitating the person, of course, they don't know the techniques on how to do that. I mean, even the university students, most of them graduate, they don't know how to resuscitate an ant, let alone human being. So, what is the essence of education? What is the essence of learning? The highest citadel of learning. How many undergraduates know how to resuscitate? Basic safety tips. How many of them know it? The lecturers no know am, na students go know am. Let alone to talk about secondary and primary schools. How many of them know it? Except for those who are voracious readers who might want to, of course, learn by themselves. But there's no conscious or deliberate attempt on the part of the government to educate her populations on the basic tips, principles of resuscitation. When somebody collapses, which of course could happen anytime, even in the hospitals, doctors do collapse. How do you resuscitate the person? How do you make sure you apply the basic safety tips, first aid, before the person is taken to a defined, of course, clinic or wherever he might carry out some more advanced medical cares. Nobody knows that what everybody's eyes, politicians are just there to take money. They are just there to embezzle. Their mind has been configured destructively. How do I loot and buy estate and buy 160 million SUVs? Even the so-called national assemblies. How many of them know safety tips? Why not pass a bill? Anybody, any senator that doesn't know basic safety tips cannot preside as representative of the people. They don't know it. And it's not a priority to make sure that the masses who they think they represent, which I am in doubt, they're representing their stomach infrastructure, selfishness, and greed. Look at a man who lost Pope Junior, who lost his life. I'm still thinking how possible that could have been. But it is possible. What settled my dad is this is in Nigeria. Is it in Nigeria how he's got it? I will agree that it happens, even though it's a rumor. Nothing is a rumor in Nigeria. Even after filming himself that he has three children, nobody to take care of them, he eventually died. Because those responsible started with the responsibility compromise. How can you enter water bodies, canoes, where you have people rent canoe or board canoe, and there is no safety? Just like even in Lagos, you saw this most of the time, for they don't have seat belt, but they will put one rope at the front and ask you just to put. If you board there, they ask you to, for those who are using public transit, you put there. Not that the thing is, there is nothing in there just to camouflage. How long can we continue to deceive ourselves? It's quite pathetic, it's quite painful. But do we ever learn from what happens to us or around us? No, do we really learn? How can't you prioritize your own safety? You are the chief security of yourself. First, you don't have to blame any other person. First, blame yourself. If you fail to do what is right to preserve yourself, nobody will preserve you. It is gone. Your life is gone. It's gone. How can Pope Junior Pope take such risk? If, in my opinion, he hates his life, he gambled with his life. It was a suicide voyage. It's a suicide voyage, which those negligence officers or responsible should be brought to book. Those who fail to do what is needful, want to hold them responsible. How can you allow people to board a body of waters so deep, so wide as River Niger without safety measures, precautions taken? Of course, that defines everything about Nigeria. Everybody gets away with whatever happens. Everybody to himself and God to us. Or if you're careless, let the devil take you. Nobody cares. Life goes on. Of course, people will also board that same boat without safety measures. I bet you this is Niger. Who sent? Everybody said that things happening. People start to be shouting. I was touched because life has been lost. Not just the Junior Pope. Other families are thrown in various pathetic states or situations now, losing their loved ones in the most painful manner. And instead of them resuscitating the people, they are rushing them to native doctor. Who do Nigeria say? Native doctor for what? And why not the native doctor bring them alive? When you fail to do what you ought to do, I want to make flimsy excuses to cover your inadequacies, shame, disgrace. It's quite unfortunate. If the needful is done, possibly those people would have been resuscitated if the safety measures of precautions, cardiac resuscitation techniques have been taught to other survivors. They would have applied that to save others. So everybody was watching, filming, the same way in accident scene. I've been in several accident scenes. The victim will be there bleeding to death, and people will be there talking side talks. Nobody thinks, how do we get this done? Until the person have lost very significant number of blood, which might lead to, of course, eventually bleeding to death. Something that could have been avoided. And sometimes, if in a sense, in accident scenes, when they are rushed to hospitals, the doctors will be requesting for some clearance before saving the life of citizens. Oh, oh, I mean, now who do us this thing? Who do Nigeria this thing? If that happens to be a bullet wound, hey, you get police report, even military report, or presidential report before they will attend to you. Hell, who do us this thing? No regard for human life, no regard for the citizens' safety and welfare. But that is not what I'm saying. It's nobody's business, it's nobody's priority, especially the government and the institutions, to preserve life. A policeman on the checkpoint doesn't even care about the safety of life and property of the citizen. He cares about what goes into his pocket. 100 naira, 200, 500 naira at that time. He can allow even the devil to pass. It doesn't bother him. But if you fail to do that, he can jump in the front of your destiny and tag you. Just my experience in one of the days I was leaving, I was shuttling from Lagos to Abuja. It's been a long time now, 2014. I was going for an interview. Those guys just rushed out as if they are after criminals. Stop. You don't stop. Who are you wasting? Of course, they have wasted so many innocent bloods. That's why it's haunting most of them. It's quite unfortunate. Please, with due respect to the Inspector General of Police, please always run a routine check on your staffs. Sometimes the way they behave brings shame. Nobody hates police, but their actions, their activities have attracted more hate, disgrace to the police force. Activities of most of the police uniformed men have brought more shame to them. Not that Nigerians hate them. They cause Nigerians to begin to hate such the uniform. Once you see that uniform, you say, but you have to redeem the image, the battered image within the public domain by doing what is right. Begin to inculcate those values on them, and of course take care of their welfare. In fact, I don't want to go into there because they are a reflection of what the society is. Let me leave you here. Let me know what is your take regarding this. I'm not. I'm no longer in a good mood to continue with this discussion because it is pathetic. It is destructive to begin to ponder over such issues. Who do us? Who do Nigeria self? Who do this country? God? The only question left for me is just to ask God, why do you create Nigeria self? Of course, some people have answered these questions in the long past. They said Nigeria was not created by God. It was British business extension empire created to protect Nigerian business interest. I think that I'm good with that response. I think I agree with the thought opinion or school of thought. It was not created by God, but British government in a bid to continue to exploit the people they call the nigger areas. Things are not working. Everything is upside down. Things are falling apart. And we thought it was a joke. Virtually every sector is in the state of quagmire. Nothing seems to be working. Perversions here and there. You know how to build a nation. Now answer me. This I would want to express great gratitude. Let me know what is your thoughts via the comment section. Thank you once again for being part of this interactive moment here on Kawo TV. Remember blessed. I wish you the best of the week ahead. I remain Chigos and Digo. Bye for now.